Welcome to Tampa, Florida, located near the beautiful Gulf of Mexico. Did you know that Tampa has a population of over 340,000 people?
All right.
Many historians believe that Tampa got its name from the Calusa tribe that used to live here.
Okay.
Tampa translates into sticks of fire, and some believe that's a direct reference to the amount of lightning strikes this city received during the summer months.
Oh wow. I think that's kind of interesting because the hockey team is called the Tampa Bay Lightning. Maybe it has some sort of connection. Did you know, Matt, that parts of the movies Edward Scissorhands, Lethal Weapon 3, and Cocoon were all shot in Tampa? Not to mention it is home to one of the largest pirate conventions in the world. So altogether, I have to say that Tampa is a pretty fun place.
Especially if you're a retro gamer.
Ah, because of all the old people.
No, because of all the awesome video game stores.
All right, let's go.
Alrighty, so my name is Alex. I started playing games with the Atari 2600 years ago, and that's ever since, I was hooked on it. Now, as a collector myself, I've traveled all over Tampa, all over Orlando, getting specific stuff. And I noticed that there was a lack, very specific, like, collectible stuff in most stores. So as a collector, I was like, I just want to try to fill in that void and just get like the really hard stuff. I don't wait for that kind of stuff to come into the store. What I actually do is every week I go out and I search for specific software, specific hardware, and I bring it into the store because I want to have that, that fresh feeling. Every time you come in the week, you're gonna see something else different that wasn't there last week, or that you can't even find like anywhere else.
My name is Matthew Coffin. I work here at M&M Video Games. Starting off, when I first started playing, it was roughly around the age of 8. My dad bought me a NES. Started off with, Super Mario Brothers, of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Later became my favorites were Werewolf the Last Warrior and the Wolverine game. My choice favorite's always really been RPGs. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. Played all those from 7 to current, and currently I'm working on Fallout 3 and Skyrim.
I'm like a really nostalgic person, so anything that takes me back to those days when games were a lot simpler, where they had a lot more original IPs coming out, not rehashes like nowadays. Anything that takes me back to those days, that's the type of game that I like. So mostly classic RPGs, turn-based stuff like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, definitely like the old school. Started off with Sega. I was more into the Sega family, so I like the Golden Axe, Sonic, Vector Man, some of the X-Men games and everything, and then translated into over PlayStation, Metal Gear, one of my favorites. And then I played, when I first started here, that's when I played Zelda. I never played it before working here. That's a good game to get into.
Primarily, I'd say my favorite franchise is Zelda. I started with the first one, and it just snowballed after that, and I have every single one in my collection, all in a box.
When I first came into the store, it was maybe about a year ago, shortly after Joe had opened the place. I instantly knew this was somewhere that I'd be shopping a lot. As I walked in the door, there was a rack of NES games staring me in the face.
So I really like all the different types of stuff they've got. They've got some stuff from way before I was born, some stuff that, oh, I really want to play it, it just came out, and I like all the different systems, all the different collector's editions they get in. I've been to this store and the Largo store, so there's always something different every time I come in. The decor is pretty fantastic. There's a Mario flag right there.
In the time that I've been here, there have been a couple of interesting moments. As far as old relics and just things of interest, I've seen a Atari brand Super Pong console come in. We have a Commodore 64 in box that a customer brought with all the components, the printer, the floppy drive, the monitor, several of the 5 1/4 floppies that you never see anymore. We had a copy of the Super Nintendo cartridge, the Ogre Battle made by Enix before Square and Enix merged.
Not too long ago, we saw the Vectrex system. I've never seen it before and everything, so it's like it came out like late 70s, I think early 80s, something like that. And what was cool is the guy brought me in the 3D glasses, and it was the first 3D glasses ever made for any gaming console or anything. And it was just an interesting piece because they had the actual wheel would spin around in front of your face, and that's how it would create the 3D effect for them. So it was a cool game, neat graphics on it and everything, so that was real interesting. And then we had more recently 007 closed up in a box and everything sealed, so that was a good find. And then some of the classics like Earthbound and all those ones, Chrono Trigger we had run through here, so it's definitely interesting seeing all those games.
All right, so if you're a gamer, specifically a retro gamer, and even more so a collector, you have to come to M&M Games in the Tampa Bay area. They got 4 sweet stores: Largo, Clearwater, St. Pete, Tampa Bay area. You got to come check it out. My money I spent on is this beautiful new Sega Master System. Look at the condition of this thing. I mean, it's just beautiful. And I wish I knew what Brandon spent his money on it.
You want to trade in? Some of your
M&M Video Games T-shirt. I'm rocking this large.
You didn't spend your money on that, right?
Yeah, I did. It's a cool looking shirt.
Why didn't you pick a size? Your size.
It's large. I'm rocking this. I look like 90s club scene. Ooh. Ooh.
Anyway, seriously, if you're a collector and you love retro games, come to M&M Gaming. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
He's my ride.